The year was 1939. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was president, and the U.S. flag had 48 stars. The average cost of a new house was $3,800. The average wages per year were $1,730. The average monthly rent, $28. A loaf of bread cost 8 cents. A pound of hamburger was 14 cents, and the average new car was $700. The year's hit parade featured Kate Smith's God Bless America, Glenn Miller's Moonlight Serenade, and Judy Garland singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. The Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind, and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington were cinema favorites. John Steinbeck published The Grapes of Wrath, which was banned in some places. Kern County, California had a prohibition that would stay in place for 18 months. Various residents called the book a libel and a lie, as well as obscene in the extreme. The nation was working its way out of the Great Depression. Unemployment for the year 1939 stood at 17.2%. That was down from 1938's full 19%. Across the nation, the Farm Security Administration was working to help farm families get on their feet. A pamphlet from the year 1939 read, "The Farm Security Administration was created to help needy and low-income farm families to become permanently self-supporting. Since 1935, it has helped more than 1 million families, many of them from the relief rolls, to get back on their feet. Many of these families had been ruined by drought or flood. Others were the victims of poor farming practices, worn-out land, unsound tenure systems, or an overwhelming burden of debt. None of them could get adequate credit from the banks or other ordinary lending agencies. Many of these families would have been permanently dependent on relief if the government had not helped them get a new start. The Farm Security Administration provides loans of various types to farm families who cannot get credit on reasonable terms anywhere else. Every loan is accompanied by guidance in sound farming methods to make sure that the money is used to the best advantage. By January 1st, 1939, the Farm Security Administration had loaned nearly $250 million. Although most of these loans will not be due for 3 or 4 years, about $75 million already has been repaid into the federal treasury. The Farm Security Administration had 10 programs to help families throughout the nation. One of those were camps for migrant farm families. The brochure read, "During the last 10 years, thousands of families, particularly in the so-called Dust Bowl, have been forced off the land by drought and windstorms. In addition, many thousands of tenant families have been pushed off farms because the use of machinery has, to a large extent, been substituted for human labor. Most of these families are trying to earn a living as wandering farm laborers, usually as harvest hands, in fruit, cotton, truck farming, and beet districts. The greatest numbers have found their way to the West Coast states, the Rio Grande Valley, and certain sections of Florida. They seldom have homes other than makeshift camps, without sanitary facilities or even a good water supply. Often, such camps are a health menace, both to the migrants and to the communities in which they live. To help remedy this situation, the Farm Security Administration has built 14 migratory labor camps along the West Coast and is planning additional camps in other areas. They consist of tent platforms, sanitary facilities, and sometimes a clinic and a school. They are open to all migrant families so long as there is room for them. Residents contribute a few hours of labor each week to the upkeep of the camp and pay a small rental fee." Dateline Merrill, Sunday, July 9th, 1939. Merrill assured of camp for use in fall harvest. Establishment of a mobile camp that is expected to provide living space for 800 persons during the fall harvest season is assured. It was announced Saturday by Mayor Charles Card following a session of the City Council. A Mr. Harrington, Portland, representative of the Farm Security Administration, advanced plans for leasing for 3 months a 30-acre plot partly within the north city limits of Merrill, where the camp will be located. With Merrill centrally situated, as it is the heart of the agricultural area, the camp is expected to serve as a reservoir for the Merrill branch of the State Employment Bureau, which opened here this week. Harrington, in presenting plans for the proposed camp, stated that room will be available for trailer houses. Foundations will be set up for tents and showers with hot and cold water to be provided. No rental fees will be charged, but those taking advantage of the premises will be required to police the grounds 2 hours per week in lieu of rent. Photographer Dorothea Lange was assigned to Merrill to document the camp. In 1936, she had taken this photo of Florence Owens Thompson. It's become synonymous with the Depression era. While Lange was 1940's Time Woman of the Year, she was also fired by the Farm Security Administration in 1940. She was deemed uncooperative for refusing to focus primarily on white subjects in labor camps. It's interesting to note that the mother, Mrs. Thompson, in the pea picker photo is actually of Cherokee descent.